Hey, what's up, guys? I'm gonna be talking about the MF3RS and my thoughts on budget cubes. So, start off MF3RS. This cube came out January 2017, and it's $4. You sent me this, and it is magnetic, so that does add to the price a little bit. But the cube, for as dated as it is, it's still very good, and I feel like that kind of leads me into what I'm gonna say. The idea of labeling things as budget cubes is really, I don't like it. Okay, a lot of the big cubers, a lot of the bigger channels, and a lot of stores are labeling things like, oh, budget cubes, best budget cubes. I don't like that idea. I think a lot of the cubes, it doesn't really matter. As long as it's not really expensive, price is obviously important, right? Because you're gonna be a consumer, but I feel like labeling things as budget cubes makes it feel inferior to other things. And I saw in one of Cubix's like Twitch highlights or something that somebody was like, "Oh, what do I do if I go to a competition and people make fun of me about the price of my cube?" And I feel like that's a growing thought in a lot of the cubers' minds nowadays because everything is becoming so price based. Um, and it's really sad to see, honestly, because there's all these kids spending their parents' money, their parents' hard-earned money on reiterations of the same thing, like specifically GAN at least. Except for like their GAN 11, which is new, like that's actually a new thing. If I saw somebody buy that, like I don't like that's smart, right? But there's a lot of people who are consuming different products that are the exact same thing as before. Um, I will say I like what Moyu is doing. Moyu isn't producing as many cubes as everybody else is, and that means that their cubes are more diversified, right? They did a remake of the RS3, really good cube, and that blew up, right? And people are calling it a budget cube, even though plenty of world-class speed cubers are using it. I use it, and it's like, I don't get it. I don't get why people are doing that. Um, so yeah, in the back here is a 642 average on a $4 budget cube from 2017. And the fact I say 2017 is because cubes haven't improved since about then. I would say since 2017, I would say no cube has become a game changer. Nothing's become very different. People are only buying cubes. You're spending about like 30 or 40 bucks on a different feeling at this point. Performance is exactly the same, right? I mean, like, of course, in the very cheap puzzles, like the Chi EMS, I know some people used it and it was like pretty decent, but I know there is a lot of locking and catching and stuff. But yeah, it's just really sad to see all these people think that because their cube is labeled a budget cube, they're inferior. And when I grew up, cubes, you can use whatever cube you wanted as long as it fit you, right? I've been using the same cube, the MS3RS2M, since 2017, and the cube has served me well for so long. And like I didn't care that people like thought I was weird for still using the cube. Like it's a very good cube. It's a very good puzzle. Like if I'm getting good times on it, of course I'm going to use it. And so my advice is that, or at least the way I think about it is, you shouldn't buy a cube unless you think it's going to be your main, right? You can't use the excuse of saying, "Oh, I'm collecting," or there's no point in collecting speed cubes if you're not going to use the speed cube, right? Like that's just an excuse to be like, "Oh, I'm buying cubes for no reason," okay? Or like I'm just buying the new cube because it's hip, okay? There's no logic behind it. I only buy cubes if I think it's going to be my main, and I knew that no cube was going to be better than my MF3RS2 for 2.5 years, so obviously I'm not going to buy another puzzle. So yeah, I don't like it. I think that the fact that people are constantly focusing on price is really bad, and I'm really annoyed with the fact that companies are profiting so much off of the exact same model that they made forever ago, and that people are buying pretty much the same thing with a different name all the time. And yeah, not, that being said, it doesn't really matter, but that's it.